Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to Brad Tragick. This is gonna be a episode of Movie Madness. Like I said, I think I'm gonna start doing so many shows like once a week. Um, Movie Madness is gonna be one of them. You're not gonna know when I'm gonna be doing it, but today's a good day to do Movie Madness, so I'm gonna do it. And basically, Movie Madness is I can talk about anything. Um, and today I'm gonna talk about you know good movies, the kind of the what do you call it, the curve of good movies is in really really good effect right now. 2 or 3 years ago, I think we were in a really really bad movie uh, dip. Well, probably about 5 years ago, we were getting a lot of horrible movies coming out. It really wasn't that great. Now we're getting actually quite a bit of movies that are coming out that are actually pretty decent. So I think I don't know what was the cause of it, but I mean, it seems just like people couldn't come up with anything. There's just a lot of sequels, and we're still in that little sequel thing where some directors or whatever you want to call it, producers, writers, all they can come up with is sequels and stuff. And I don't. I hope that kind of goes away. All I'm seeing a lot of is like remakes and sequels. So it's like they're okay. Um, but all in the end, it's just like, why can't you come up with an original idea? There's a lot of movies coming out now that are actually pretty good. I mean, ones that come to mind, I'm not even sure. Like, I mean, we saw like Zack and Miri make a porno. We seen Aliens in the Attic. I mean, they may not be good, but they're decent movies. But I mean, before that, we were seeing like really, really. I can't even give you an example. I just know like go back and try and watch like what movies came out in 2006, 7, and then look how many good movies came out nowadays. It's just like, and I think there's always going to be that time where there's a dip in the quality of movies. Like I think there's always going to be like a writer's block, like a little area that you always get shitty movies in that time frame. Um, it seems like we were having a really really rough time in the early 2000s where we wasn't really having too many good movies come out. It was just it took a while for us to get out of that. Every once in a while you would have that that big blockbuster. I said, but it seems like we weren't getting like, and all the other movies that came out were like really crappy or really just not worth your time. I wouldn't buy this movie on DVD, but I'll go watch it in the theater one time. It's like those kind of movies. It's like some of those movies. And it kind of explains to me like what movies do I buy? What movies does Brad Tragick buy? Well, movies that I buy is the movies that I'm gonna want to watch like year after year after year. If I have a boring day, I'm gonna sit down and watch a movie. What movies can I watch? Like I'm talking about timeless movies like The Crow. Like The Crow will never get old. You can always watch that movie. Super Troopers, really funny comedy. You can sit down and watch that anytime. It's funny. Um, and then you think about movies. Well, what movies would you not watch then, Brad Chadwick? Well, movies I wouldn't watch is like Sweet Home Alabama. I mean, it's a good movie, but I'm not gonna want to watch it like over and over again. Any day I'm not gonna be able to watch that. I mean, it'd be more like a Christmas movie to watch or something like that. That's not really a Christmas movie. But, I mean, that would be kind of movie I would think of it like your family's over and you need a movie to watch. Okay, well, let's be home Alabama. Or watch. I don't know. I get that. I mean, there's a ton of them out there. That the movies you watch, you're just like, well, that was good, but I probably wouldn't ever watch it again. Those kind of movies that are probably the movies that you have family over, you'll watch them, but would you really buy it? I mean, even if it was $5 at Walmart, I don't know, I still wouldn't buy it probably because I don't need it in my collection if it's that horrible. Um, if I was rich and had a lot of money, maybe, but I'm not rich and I don't have a lot of money, so I wouldn't do that. Basically, that. I want to say that if no one has ever seen Marmaduke, I seen that the other day. It was funny as to hell. I did like the movie Marmaduke, so if you haven't seen that Marmaduke movie, check it out. Very, very funny. I went into it thinking of like, okay, I didn't really see the previews for it. I just knew, you know, the movie's about a dog. blah blah blah. I kind of thought that he was clumsy. I thought I remember that from like the cartoons, comic strips, and then I started watching the movie, and he talks. So I'm like, oh well, I automatically love this movie because anything with talking animals in it, I love. So there you go. So it sold me, and I was like, oh, talking animals, I love it. So definitely a fan of the movie. It's really really good, and at the end is actually better. I would honestly say it's not one of those movies you would watch once. I mean, if you have kids, I guess it would be a good movie to put in your collection for them to watch. Like every so often, they might say, "Hey, let's watch Marmaduke. I haven't seen that in a while." But other than that, it's not really a movie that like if you're an adult collect like and you like want certain movies, not one I would have in my collection. Um, and just unless you're collecting like those kind of movies, then maybe uh, if I found it for $5, I probably would buy it. Just because it is a pretty decent movie, and then if I ever want to get rid of it, I would have it borrowed, things like that. Now, one movie I would buy, or two movies I would buy, is Cats and Dogs, number one and two, because those movies are hilarious. And I hope to God they make a number three. I hope they keep making them because they're really really fun. I think the storylines are pretty endless because they're just really really goofy all in all, and they probably have a goofy storyline, but just they had talking animals like all over the place, and uh, Revenge of Kitty Galore, I think that's what the last movie is called. Oh my god, it was more funny than the first one. The first one basically the only funny thing that I thought was really really hilarious was the Ninja Siamese cats. And then in this movie they showed like the layer of like all the dogs from space and everything, so, or all the layer of the dogs where they all go as agents, when humans aren't knowing about it, and that's where they hang out. And they have like all the funny things, like playing video games and jumping on trampolines or stuff like that. I don't know, random things. It was really really funny. Comments they were making. One was riding a skateboard, it crashed into something, and everybody was like, "Oh!" That's basically it. Movie review. Keep checking out my videos and more to come. But this has been Movie Madness from Brad Tragick. Rock on, baby!